And welcome back to a rare early edition of Grade A Power Plays here on the Grade A Fantasy channel. Good morning, everybody. This is your boy, Grade A Fantasy. Let's go for a quick review. Once again, I apologize for the late video, but for whoever who was able to catch it, we definitely had a decent night. Calgary was pretty much shut down. San Jose tried to play a control game, tried to do as much as they possibly could. Didn't last too long, and they ended up giving up three goals, one of them being a power play. So we hit the Morgan Frost was 400, 270 Huberdeau, Mackenzie Weegar assists. For the rest of the night, we ended up with the Trevor Zegras McTavish point, Leo Carlson Gauthier point. Kadri began the start of the shot on goal ladder. Got the 4, but missed 3 shots, so we couldn't get that there. Mackenzie Weegar ended up with the assist on the power play. It was pretty much a simple night. So definitely profited well there. And let's continue and get on to today. So as you can see by the cover sheet of the video, let's get right into it. So yesterday, I probably misspoke about who's playing the worst or who's pretty much the worst team now, and that's San Jose. San Jose played pretty tough, but along with that, Boston's right there next to them. Interesting stat. I understand it has nothing to do with props because you can still generate stats getting your ass kicked, but Boston's 1-12. So we're going full-fledged top line, and we actually have a profitable pair on the second line. I've done this before with Nashville, a few times with Jersey. This is one of those that I know at least most of these are going to hit. So, plus 344, 2 points. Bratt, Hischier. Them separate is plus 200, plus 196 for 2 points. On the second line, this is, if I'm not mistaken, the third time. This is the third time that Boston and New Jersey. No, this might be the second time. Yes, they played their first game January 22nd. Same thing. It was just pre-trade deadline. Devils had more injuries now, but the Bruins have gotten a lot worse then. In that game, Devils were at home, 1-5-1. I think got 2 power play goals, and Nico Hischier led the way with, I think he ended up with 3 points if I'm not mistaken. But most importantly, Dawson Mercer and Timo Meier ended up with 2 points each. And obviously this is a weaker bottom 9, not even a bottom 6. I'm actually interested in possibly taking Dawson Mercer or Timo for 2. And obviously the way the team is made up, 5-1 back then, Stefan Noesen was on the power play. Now Nosen's off the power play, Mercer's the one up there. So that's also something we can look at. That's more of a ruckus parlay. I'll definitely be interested in looking in at that. Obviously, this is one of those games where we're taking Luke Hughes for 2 points. We're also looking at Luke Hughes 2 assists, Jesper Bratt 2 assists. And before we move on to the next game, let's take a look at what it would be for 2 points each for Dawson Mercer and Timo Meier. Because with the injuries, they're getting more opportunity, and all their other big guns are pretty much stepping up. Hischier, Bratt being even more of a playmaker. Luke Hughes has done a solid job, to great job, subbing in for Dougie Hampton, being the power play quarterback. So, like I said, point wise, Dawson Mercer's almost even money. Timo's minus 162. That's why we got the 143. Obviously, taking 1 point on Bratt, Hischier, and Meier is not really going to do much. The only thing you might want to do here also, Stefan Noesen plus 102. So you're hoping for him to get the 5-on-5. He's not correlated with those guys at all anymore. Only 5-on-5. He's no longer on the top power play. But 2 points, if it could happen again, plus it's even better matchup for that line 2 of Mercer. It's an even better matchup for the line 2 of Mercer, Palat, and Meier. Now, not saying that it can happen again, but that bottom 6 is even worse than what it was before when it was 5-1. Obviously, Meier's more the score, Mercer's more the setup. But like I said, the power play correlation is something that makes this even more possible. So for 2 points, Dawson Mercer by himself is 520. Timo Meier is 320. 987 for Dawson Mercer and Timo Meier for 2 points. That's definitely something that I'll be looking into. Once again, the matchup is there, power play correlation, and it's a hell of a weaker bottom line. So basically, the main two guys on line 1, line 2, Luke Hughes 2. We're looking for an onslaught here. Jersey side. And like I said, it's something that could possibly happen, or one of these guys get the 2. Both have great odds for the 2 points. We already took them for 1, so might as well jump on the 2-point train. And also with that, if I'm not mistaken, let's go back to my bets. I think, didn't I do the power plays for these guys? No. Or did I do it earlier? Yes. It was the first thing I literally did this morning. Power play odds don't change. They're pretty big favorites, so I was expecting at least one of these guys to be under 200. But since everybody's 200 and higher, might as well hope that the right 3 correlate. Luke Hughes is still pretty much 300. Timo's 330. So, and then Dawson Mercer's plus 470. I'll be definitely heavily invested into this first game. Like I said, looking for New Jersey to run over Boston again at home, set up the better matchups, and send them now to 1-13 in their last 14. They're 1-12. They're 1-12 basically in their last 13 games coming into New Jersey, and Jersey's playing great. So on top of that, like I said, we do have, like I said, for a value stack, you have Dawson Mercer and Timo. I wonder if to the left of Dawson Mercer's Haller. I know for sure he'll definitely be plus money. Plus he's not on the power play. So I wonder, besides Stefan Noesen being positive money on that, is Haller here? Does Eric Haller have a market? He might. Stefan Noesen it? No, it's Palat that has a market. And Palat's on the third line with Justin Dahlen and Tomas Tatar. So, okay. So, yeah, we'll be focusing on mainly, we're pretty much looking at the entire power play, guys. Line 2, Mercer, Timo. Mercer plays mostly net front. And then, of course, you got the wings of Timo, Hischier, and Bratt will circle around to play the top to help assist Luke Hughes, quarterback in the power play. Now, let's get into some interesting things here. Another game that I will like to focus on, something quick. Now, I'm waiting for other markets. When I took this was early. I looked and not everybody was there. But with this kind of game, I love the fact that, like I said, Chicago, they're young guys. A lot of people are just pretty much out there skating for jobs, skating to be part of the Chicago Blackhawks future. And what I like here is pretty much, so far, not everybody was there, but I do have 2 bets. Silently, Frank Nazar has had some solid games. Nazar has been shooting the hell out of the puck. First off, let's take advantage of the low prop. Now, I don't know what it is now, but to get to 2 shots, Frank Nazar is minus 1.5. Now, I've been playing fantasy as well, so this is not, I don't want to consider this like, puck watching or scoreboard watching, but in pretty much 25 shots in his last 10 games, so automatically he's almost guaranteed to get that prop easily. But the one thing I want you to notice is playing fantasy as well, performance-wise, not only is this a good matchup going into Pittsburgh, like I said, the only subpar decent defensive line is the Crosby line. That's going to go to Bedard. So Frank Nazar, Teuvo Teravainen, and Tyler Bertuzzi are going to have all the opportunity to create against pretty much what's a Boston-esque bottom 9. Now, I see Teuvo here. He wasn't up earlier, and Bertuzzi's here now. So, but he's not up here. There wasn't everybody here, so it sucks that Frank Nazar doesn't have a market. I would love to have a market for him, but if you want to put him on the same line, plus they're on the same power play, Teuvo and a nice plus money Tyler Bertuzzi should be, I was about to say it should be plus 200, plus 194. But because of what he's doing lately with his shots on goal, Frank Nazar has only missed that prop once in 6 games. Multiple times he's gone over 3. FanDuel's only letting you go above a certain amount. They're not giving Frank Nazar a 4-shot or 5-shot market. So Frank Nazar, who has been shooting the hell out of the puck lately, plus 265 for 3 shots. Frank Nazar has a great prop. I think we should definitely take advantage of that. Just to make sure you guys, I mean, hey, not everybody's paying attention to the Blackhawks, but I damn sure am, and I did pick them recently for some decent substacks in fantasy, and they should be able to. I mean, look at his shots. There you go. That's the one game that he missed it, and then when we go back, that's 5 games. If you go back one more game, everything is 2 and above. And in 4 of the last 5, he's gone 3 and above. So that shows you right there. He can easily get the mini ladder. Like I said, I don't know if they added a shot market to him after 3. I already took these. These are early notes from this morning. 3 shots is 6.5. If I hit show all, is he up here? No. So Frank Nazar's market stops at 3. So you have no choice but for a mini ladder there. If I see anything else, I will let you guys know, because there's a lot that I still want to talk about. So this is the first time I'm doing a part 1 to grade A power plays, featuring basically Jersey. Part 2, just to give you a preview, I want to talk about Detroit, Montreal a little bit, Ottawa, Columbus, and Toronto, Florida. That's a game that I've been predicting real well. It's always a playoff atmosphere. We'll get more into that. But there's a lot going on with teams headed for the playoffs, especially Florida. Florida has injuries. Florida is actually resting some people. So right now I know for sure Barkov is out. I have no idea if Sam Bennett's going to be there, but there are some interesting things I want to talk about in that game. I'm not going to preview it, just, waiting for some line combos and see who's there, because there's a lot of questions on the Florida side. Toronto's pretty much self-explanatory. And I still got to do a bit of research. Maybe on Ottawa, Columbus I kind of like, and then, Detroit, Montreal. But I definitely will be talking about Toronto, Florida in the next video later on today. That is it for part 1 of Grade A Power Plays on April the 8th, 2025. Thank you for tuning in. This is Grade A Fantasy with Grade A Power Plays. Signing off.